Is somebody excited this evening? I'm excited too. I love using the word excited because when you say you're excited, sometimes you start feeling it. Sometimes when you say you're bored, you start feeling it. It's about excitement. I had lunch with a friend of mine today, and he was complaining about how his day has been difficult. And I told him, chap, think about it. We are Christians. Don't you believe that this is the day that the Lord has made for you to rejoice and be glad in it? Now he told me, no, if Peter, I'm to think about this day today, I must think of it as the day that the Lord has destroyed. And I told him, no. You don't have to think about it. We've got to be positive in our orientation. We've got to be positive in the way we look at everything. You've got to wake up every morning and think, this is my day. This is the greatest day for you. And the fact that you're seated there and you're breathing, it's a great day for you. For us to get started, I think we have to first ask ourselves the fundamental question, why are we here? And even if I've been involved in inviting you, that is not exactly why we are here. We are here because we are human beings. We are here because human beings have a common destiny they've been fighting for. We've all of us been fighting for excellence. You are an athlete, you want to break the world record. You're fighting for excellence. That is our common destiny. And the last reason why we are here, we've got to enjoy ourselves. Reasons why we have to enjoy ourselves. It is so easy to get stress out there. Stress is for free. One friend of mine says that stress is free. You just get it, you don't buy it. But for entertainment and enjoyment, sometimes you've got to spend quite an amount of money. You know how much people who drink spend in the clubs. It is expensive. First, we will talk about a very important thing in our lives. We'll talk about the 7 anchors of success. Success has been elusive. Everyone says that. It is elusive. It is difficult to catch. We will talk about how you are supposed to anchor the ship's success on your shoreline. And once you anchor it, you can offload all the goodies that are there for you. Do you know how you create failure? You create failure by avoiding success. So success is a natural thing. It is raining over the universe continuously. But when it is raining, some of us are avoiding it by covering ourselves with iron umbrellas. Umbrellas of fear, umbrellas of mediocrity, umbrellas of complacency. You don't want to move and you're satisfied the way you are. You're blocking success. It is there, but you're avoiding it. There's one author called Orison Swett Marden who said that deep within man dwells those, of course, and woman, deep within you dwells those slumbering powers that would astonish you, that you never dreamt of possessing, forces that would revolutionize your life if aroused and put into action. You've got power, you've got capability, you've got what it takes to succeed. It is only that sometimes you are avoiding it. Let's look at the first anchor of success. The first anchor of success is self-awareness. When you think about self-awareness, what comes in your mind? Our teachers taught us that you have to do the right thing at the right time and at the right place. But that was not enough because they never told us that you have to be the right person. Before you think of doing the right thing at the right time and at the right place, think of being the right person. Take a good example. Sometimes when we go to Mashujaa celebrations, and you see, like there was a time we went for celebrations when we passed the new constitution. And Emmy Kosgei sang, and everybody stood there to cheer up. Everyone, including the 2 principals, His Excellency the President and the Right Honorable Prime Minister, stood there to join the lady singing. Think about it again. What would happen if the 2 principals, the leaders of this nation, were to replace Emmy at the stage? His Excellency the President was to be the choir leader or the Prime Minister. What would happen? Okay, I don't want to predict what would happen, but I may not stand to join them. The thing is, these gentlemen have got their area of expertise. They have succeeded in doing a lot to our economy. But Emmy has also succeeded in singing. So you've got to be aware of yourself, of your potentials. You've got to be aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. You'll be able to choose your career. You'll be able to know this is exactly what I should do. If you think about it, someone like Dennis Oliet, what would happen if today he was seated in a hospital treating us? Supposing he was a lecturer in the university, and one of the lecturers was playing football. What would happen is that we would not have excellence in the university, neither would we have excellence in the football. So what happens is that when you are aware of yourself, you are able to appreciate what you can do best. When you appreciate what you can do best, you go out and do it. I normally tell people that I can't do everything, I can't do everything. Personally, I can't be an accountant. I don't want to sit in an office just looking at vouchers and checks. Maybe I would want to count money. You would know my tribe. And you know what I will do? I will not let what I cannot do interfere with what I can do. If I can speak in public, I will not go to play football at the expense of speaking. I will have to be aware of myself and do my best. This is how you achieve success. When you know exactly your potentials, you are able to judge your character. Because self-awareness is awareness of your personality. Your personality is those traits that make you unique as an individual. When you think about yourself and realize that you're an ego, you don't have a business hanging around chicken. You can't imagine an ego discussing stuff with chicken. Chicken telling the ego, you know, it is very difficult to fly these days. And the ego knows that you can fly anywhere you want. You can fly to any part of the world. When you're aware of yourself, you decide, this is what I must become. This is my secret of success. Your secret of success is basically taking the weapon you have, being yourself, just doing the best you can be. If you're best in football, you'll be successful. If you're best in banking, you'll be successful. If you're best in accountancy, you'll be successful. We are suffering so much in our country and in most of Africa and even the world because we are having average performance in everything. We are having average performance in social work because the person who should have become a social worker went to become a banker. Then we have an average performance in the bank hall because the person who is supposed to be the banker went and became a social worker elsewhere. When it comes to being myself, even Usain Bolt can't catch up with me. You may think I'm joking. And John Wooden told us that you've got to appreciate your character more than your reputation. Because your character is that which you are. Your reputation is merely what other people think you are. So sometimes it is very good to listen to friends and loved ones when they're telling you what you are. They're telling you you're good in this, they're telling you you're good in that. But sometimes, be careful. Listen to only what I call the plain mirror friends. Plain mirror friends are friends who will give you a frame that is the same shape and size as yourself. If you get the convex or concave mirror friends, they will either inflate your image, make you feel a hero when you're not, when you're at zero, or make you feel at zero when you've made it. So get the plain mirror friends. Listen to people who can give you the right character, who can tell you who you are, and who can make you get an understanding of where you're going in your life. There's one thing that was said by Bruce Barton, that there is nothing splendid that has ever been achieved except by those who dared believe that something inside them was superior to circumstances. When you realize that there is something inside you that it can beat the circumstances, that can beat the world, then you rise up like Barack Obama. After realizing that there is something inside you that can beat the world, you rise up and tell people, you know what, guys? Yes, I can. He went around the whole of America singing, yes, we can. And I think if you were doubting, he made it. Once you believe that there is something inside you, if you believe there is a serious businessman in you, awaken that businessman. If you believe there is a musician in you, awaken that musician. Get that which is in you and awaken that, because that is where your power lies. Let's look at the second anchor of success. Once you're completely aware of who you are, you need information. Information is power. You need a lot of information for you to move on. There's a song by Kenny Rogers. How many people listen to country music? I'm seeing so many hands. I hope the hands don't mean something else. Kenny Rogers has sung one song called Gambler. Again, you would know why I would love the song Gambler. It talks about counting your money. It's a song that would appeal to Kikuyus more. It says never count your money when you're sitting at the table. You got to put it in the wallet first and then go around and ensure the deal is complete. Then you can count it. But he says one important thing in that song, that every gambler knows the secrets to surviving. All of us are gamblers in one way or another in life. But you've got to understand the secrets to surviving. You've got to understand the rules of the game. Whenever you are aware of yourself and decide, now you know, I want to be a public speaker, or I want to be an accountant, I want to be a social worker, you've got to understand the secrets of surviving in that profession. You've got to understand the secrets of surviving in your area of expertise. If you're a businessman, you've got to know where you can get products at lower costs and where you can get market. If you're a career person, you got to know how to elbow other people and get a promotion at your place of work. If you're a musician, you've got to know how to write the best lyrics. You've got to know the secrets of surviving in your area of expertise. Information is power. that is not a cliche if you think. Information is power, and it is only power again when we use it and put it into practice. So think about it. Anything that you're planning to do in your life, seek as much information as possible on what you want to do. If you want to become an accountant, get to know exactly what to become. Like, for example, I was reading about David Beckham, and he used to spend a lot of time in the field alone, trying to score when there is even no one in the post, scoring from the corner. And those who watch football and those who are also fans of Manchester United know that David Beckham did it. He succeeded. He succeeded in what he was doing exactly because he kept on practicing. He kept on understanding the rules of the game. You have to understand the rules of the game. The Bible says in the book of Hosea that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Okay, people just read that line. If you continue there, you find God speaking to Hosea and telling him, and because they have rejected knowledge, I have rejected them. So sometimes you may be wondering why you've been rejected. Because they have rejected knowledge, I have rejected them, and even denied them a chance to become my prophets and my priests. People perish because of lack of knowledge, and information is the hottest product in the market. You can make more money selling information than selling anything else than selling diamond and gold today in the world. And if you're doubting that, ask how much worth is the owner of Facebook. You can make much selling information. When Karl Marx wrote Das Kapital, he talked about the people ruling the world as those who own land and capital. They are the bourgeoisies. But today, if Karl Marx was to wake up from where he is, come to write again, he would not write about land and capital. He would write about something different. Owning a website today may be worth more than acres of land. Some websites are making more than the GDP of our country. When you think about it, and how much land we have, like how much acres I have. Of course, we don't have much where I come from. So knowledge is important. You've got to acquaint yourself with everything that you want to understand in your area of expertise. If you want to become a university lecturer, start doing research. Start studying a lot so that you can get something to tell your students. Or else, they will not raise your pay. So knowledge, one thing that I want to leave you with is that knowledge is only potential power. It can only be important if you put it into practice. A lot of knowledge will just make you a warehouse of information. But if you put it into practice, it is going to change your life. Ladies and gentlemen, the third anchor of success is faith. And when I talk faith, some people may start feeling like I'm getting preachy. Let me talk about faith as the third anchor of success. This strong belief in your ability to achieve, this strong belief in your ability to make it in your career, this is the thing I'm talking about. When you look at your society, when you look at the society, why is it that there are always few people at the top? When I was in college, I was taught by a certain professor called Professor Njeru. So Professor used to make a joke and used to use the university structure. He used to tell us that when you look at the university, there is one chancellor and chairman of the council, one vice chancellor, several deputy vice chancellors, several principals of colleges, many deans of faculties, many chairmen of department, professors. Then he would say that at the bottom, there are thousands and thousands of students and cleaners. Of course, we didn't choose to like the joke. At that point, we also knew that when we grow up and become professors, we will use that joke in class. The point is that there are few people at the top and many people at the bottom. Today, if I may ask you, which is easier to become? Is it to become a president or a bus driver? I know that may get quite complicated, but in my analysis, it is easier to become president than to become a bus driver. That gets controversial, isn't it? But when you want to become president, you realize there are only few people to beat. When you want to become a bus driver, any standing man will line up in the queue. So if I want one president, and you want one bus driver, the interviews for the bus drivers will take longer. You may get to retirement before you are interviewed, isn't it? If you want to become president, there are only few people to beat. When you look at our scenario, in 2007, how many people did Raila Odinga had to beat? He only had, the serious contenders, and I hope I don't get quoted for this. He only had to beat Mwai Kibaki and Kalonzo Musyoka. In America, as big as the country is and as rich as guys are there and educated as they are, Barack Obama had only one person to beat. All of us have got potential to become, but we don't become because of fear. We don't become because we don't believe we can become. There are few people who believe that they can become something. Look at the definition of faith. The dictionaries will talk about faith as that strong belief in your abilities, that strong belief in your abilities to become something. What does the Bible talk of faith? The Bible talks about faith in Hebrews chapter 11. And it says, faith is substance, the assurance of things hoped for and conviction of things not seen. That you can believe in something you have not even seen. You can believe in your abilities when you are at the kindergarten and believe that you can become a professor somewhere in your life. It is about believing, even without seeing. Of course, there are those who insist that seeing is believing. But think about it. Must you see in order to believe? Have you ever seen electricity now that you pay the bills every month? You may be doubting whether electricity exists, but the best way to try it is just go and stick your finger in the socket and your doubts will quickly disappear, isn't it? You will not doubt anymore. You can learn to believe even without seeing. You can learn to believe in your potential, and you've got to start right now. Once you're aware of yourself and once you've got information, now you need to believe that you can launch out for something worthwhile in the world. And that is what we are doing. That is what every one of us has to do. From today, develop an inner belief in your ability to succeed. It doesn't matter how many people will tell you you can't. So you've got to believe in your abilities to succeed. And that is the only way you can be successful in everything that you do. Another thing that